So if you've been watching my YouTube channel for a while, you know that I specialize in wedding receptions. That's what I typically do. But once in a while, I will take something a little different, like a quinceañera, or a birthday party, or even a school dance. Speaking of, I've got two of them coming up the next 2 weeks in a row. They're high school homecomings. And it's in a district that I've worked with before. I like them, they like me, the students like me, I like the students. It's a pretty good fit. I don't think I'd take just any high school, because it's really not what I do. Sometimes, I'm taking my entire day to do a wedding. I'm up early in the morning, I'm home very late that night after midnight. So the next day, early morning the next day, I can be on site for, up to 12 hours sometimes with ceremony and reception. And everything's got to be perfect, because you get one shot at a wedding and that's it. They expect perfection. And they expect no technical problems. It's got to be right. It's a lot of pressure to do these. I'm taking between, realistically, 20 and 40 hours in prep. Total with the event and everything. It's very involved. But the good news is, with a wedding, the equipment usually is more lightweight. The type of weddings I'm doing, between, let's say, 100 people to 200 people, you're not bringing giant sound systems. You don't need big, giant lighting rigs. But it is time consuming in the prep. Where with school dances, it's almost the opposite. You don't spend that much time in prep. You need to kind of know what your new tracks are, but aside from that, there's not a lot of crazy timeline creation typically. It's pretty simple and straightforward. But the equipment is usually more involved. For instance, like what I have in here today is not my lighting or all of my tripods and stuff, but I've got my sound system in here. And it's two EKX 15-inch subwoofers, two EKX 12-inch tops. It's a lot more than I normally carry. Normally I'm just running, some kind of Evolve thing, like an Evolve 30M is what I've been running quite a bit for the last, I don't know when it came out, I guess the last year. So there's more equipment with the high school, but it's less in prep. And the other thing that I found with high schools in my market, at the level that I'm doing them, is that the money isn't there like it is for a wedding. I know there are some people out there who do big production school events, and good on you. You're charging several $1,000s for these, and you got a crew coming in and setting up, and it's this big thing. But at most school events, that's not the case. They're doing several events a year, and their budget isn't nearly that big. Not for every event they do. They might spend some money on their prom or something, but they're not going to spend it on their winter formal or their Halloween dance or their Valentine's Day dance or even their homecoming. I'm only going to be performing for, between 2.5 and 3 hours. It's going to seem like a long 2.5, 3 hours, but yeah, just a very, very different animal. And I didn't ever really enjoy doing schools. And I say I never did because I really didn't. I was a DJ when I was a teenager. I was in high school when I was DJing. I was in junior high when I was doing this. And I remember the company that I worked for landed my high school for prom, I think it was. And they said, hey, you want to do your prom? I'm like, hell no, I don't want to do my prom. I do my school's prom. I didn't like going to the school dances. Why would I want to DJ at them? I kind of feel that way about most every school. I don't hate them, but I prefer not to do them. It's not my specialty. There are those of you out there who are really up on this. You know exactly what to do. You know exactly what's going to go on with the requests, and you know the songs that are going to trigger things that maybe the faculty may not like, and there's just all of these pitfalls that I'm not familiar with. Could I get familiar with them and do them? Yeah, I could. But I'm pretty comfortable with doing weddings because, well, for me anyway, the equipment's lighter, for one. Take whether I like them or not out of the equation. The equipment weighs a lot less. I got it down to a science. Yeah, a lot of time in prep, but the physical stuff I have to go through to set up a homecoming, especially if it's paying like half of what my average wedding does is a lot to ask. Even if I'm only there for a short period of time, even if I don't have a lot of prep going into it. And I've had a lot of people ask me about what I'm calling children's parties, and I'm talking about kids stuff. It could be high school, it could be elementary school, a lot of quinceañeras, sweet 16s. I did a 14-year-old birthday party a couple weeks ago. A lot of people are asking for that stuff, and I'm turning it down because it's not my wheelhouse. But the more I do these, the more familiar I'm getting with them. I guess I could take them. If the money's there, I can take them. If there's nothing else going on. But really, I'd rather hold out for a wedding because I'd rather spend that prep time and do what I'm comfortable with doing with equipment that I'm comfortable with bringing in and setting up by myself, one-handed, by the way. If you don't know, this one don't work very well. Then I am trying to look this. I don't know how I'm going to get these EKX12s on a tripod. I got to figure that out because I don't have help on this first gig. I do on the second one, but not on this one. I haven't found anybody to help me out yet. And again, the problem is I don't have a lot of money to pay anybody. I barely have enough money to do this event. But foolish me, I took it. But I like to try different things once in a while. It's nice to break it up. But I can't wait to get back to weddings. Anyway, that's it. Just a quick video for you. Take care of yourselves. I really do appreciate you guys for watching. We'll see you soon. Practice and enjoy.